Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin, after it has reached the target area that we've been talking about for 6 months now, has exited the target area. So it has moved above 28.7K again. And it's now, I think, trying to get back into it. So we're going to take a look at that. Overall, someone asked me to take a little bit of a longer outlook about the Bitcoin price. So my general view of the overall Elliott Wave count is that Bitcoin has produced so far 3 1-2 setups, 3 so-called 1-2 setups, which means that the peak here in 2017 was a wave 1. Then we saw a dip into a wave 2. Then we had another run up in a wave 1, moving down in a wave 2. And we are currently looking here at another wave 1 with a wave 2. Why is that so important? First of all, it is so important because it needs to be understood that the next wave up doesn't necessarily need to be a wave 3. It could just be another wave 1. Why is that so important? It is so important because of price targets. Yeah. Normally after a wave 2 you would expect a wave 3, which is normally, as per the Elliott Wave method, the most bullish wave. Not always, yeah, but typically it is a very bullish wave. The problem is that the price very well could decide, or the market could decide, just to produce a so-called 1-2 setup. That is what you often see with younger stocks and shares. That is what markets typically do. One example that I showed in the past is the Apple stock. So it is not a crypto thing. Also, volatility is not a crypto thing. It is a thing of young assets. Yeah. And we have seen that here on the Apple chart in the 1980s and 1990s, where you've seen something very similar. So you've also had here a wave 1, 2 in 1983 to 1985. We had another wave 1, 2. We had another wave 1, 2. Yeah. So then we had another wave 1, 2. So these are, how do you recognize these? Well, basically you have strong peaks and you have a strong reaction to the downside. You come down too far for a wave 4. Yeah, so it could be, some people might count that as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, but you actually come down too much. Yeah, you cut into the price action of the previous wave 1 and so on. And also with regards to the Fibonacci levels, when you're coming down too much, it's very likely that it was only a wave 1, 2. Now that's actually not a problem. It's actually super bullish, but and it means it will be an extended cycle. So we had here throughout, this was all wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is super important. And why is that so important? It's so important because it builds a foundation for future growth. Because if you see these wave 1, 2 setups, which are indicated or which are characterized by strong price increases and strong reactions to the downside, strong corrections, again, another impulse up, another correction down, where you come down very much, but you always make higher lows typically. Okay, so this builds a foundation because for each of these wave 1, 2 setups you need a consequential wave 3, 4 and 5 at a later stage. So it's a bit like a bracket that you open and never close. You have these additional waves which will come at a later stage, which means that it's super bullish because this foundation that Apple built here in the 1980s and 1990s, I mean, we know what that led to. Yeah, we were at prices of around $1 back then. This is what then played out until today. This is what has been playing out until today. Okay. It gives you an indication of where Bitcoin might go at some point in some of the cryptos. And bear in mind, the Apple price is only below $200 today because of all the stock splits. Had we not have any stock splits, that Apple stock would be above $30,000 today. Yeah. So just to understand, so 30 years later, that's where we are because of all these 1-2 setups. And this is exactly what Bitcoin is doing as well. A super bullish foundation here. Yeah. And we might just about in this third 1-2 setup, which played out perfectly. And the next wave, I'm always saying it should be a wave 3. It could just be another wave 1, 2. I don't know. Yeah, this is what the markets will need to show us with regards to the Fibonacci extensions and how far we will go and come down. But the next wave should be That is what I just have to expect based on probabilities. It should be a wave 3. We've already seen 3 wave 1, 2 setups. At some point it's getting too much and we need to see that bullish explosion to the upside. And therefore, I'm super bullish on Bitcoin. Not only from a fundamental point of view, but also a technical point of view. And the target for a next wave 3 to the upside should be at least 125k, but it could very well be much higher because of all these previous 1-2 setups. So we could very well be looking at an extended wave 3, 187k, maybe even 250k, the 3.618 Fibonacci extension. Yeah, so not just get to the 1.618, but to the 3.618. Third extension. So that's where we are longer term. Can we drop any lower? Yes, that's actually my primary expectation. As I mentioned before, I think the low is not yet in for the crypto market. Had it been in, we would need to see that bullish momentum now to the upside. We need to see that explosion now. If we don't see it, my view is that the low is probably not yet in. So at the moment, what we're trying to do, we're trying to get back here into this target area down there at 28.7k. This is an important support level. We are now just below 28.7k. I think it's still fighting around it, yeah, but 28.7 is an important level that is below the low from June. And if we lose that level again, there will be another major dip. That is my view. And that is why I told you that I think the overall correction isn't finished yet. Also based on the medium-term wave count that we have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, wave 5 down would still be coming. Ideal target for that would be the, I think I deleted it, the 200-week moving average. Yeah, this is an indicator that typically Bitcoin historically never went below. I think there was maybe one occasion where it did, I think during COVID. Here in white now highlighted 22k. I think that is very well where the price could drop to. Could this here be an impulse? I don't think so. It's coming down too impulsively now, so it makes me think this might just have been a corrective wave up and we're heading further down. We haven't even made a higher high yet, and we're currently also breaking back into the target area, even though the price is still fighting, bulls and bears still fighting around this important support, 28.7k. We've just dropped slightly below it, but if we lose it, I think we go down here to at least 27k and then maybe even to the previous swing low, 25.4. If we lose that, the 22k level would be there. So at the moment, as I said, primary expectation still that we go once more lower. If the wave 4 is finished, if the wave 4 is not finished yet, we can even move all the way up to 34k in the first instance before we come down once more. Yeah, only above 34k, I would personally talk about, okay, the low could be in. We can talk about alternative scenarios, and I do not see a clean impulsive move up yet on the chart. This is what we want to see. We would want to see a first 5-wave move up. This could be like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's too early to say still. Yeah, I will keep you updated as soon as we see here some kind of 5-wave move up. I will definitely make you aware, and then we can start to do the journey into that, or to that larger wave 3 that will take us above 100k. In my view, it's still too early for that. I think the dust needs to settle first, and we also need to make higher highs first. Until then, still here sort of in the limbo between the 28.7k level, that wave 4 target area, and it just needs a bit more patience now. Yeah, it just needs to be a bit more. We just all need to be a bit patient at the moment, because we are now in this possible turnaround space. Bitcoin has done overall what it needs to do to complete the correction, but that doesn't mean the correction must be finished. It just means it has done what it needs to do in terms of the correction, and any price increases are now possible. For now, it's still too uncertain, and of course I will keep you updated here about Bitcoin. So yeah, hopefully you liked the update about Bitcoin. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe, and maybe check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.